In a world where we're constantly glued to our devices, it's easy to forget the human connections happening right in front of us. But imagine this. You're about to lose everything. Your phone is on 5% battery, and in that moment, you find yourself at a crossroads. What happens when the world around you suddenly becomes too big for your tiny screen? This is the story of two strangers, a fleeting connection, and an unexpected love that sparks at the unlikeliest of times. With her phone's battery slowly draining, Maya finds herself struggling to send the one text she's been putting off for weeks. As she sits at the cafe, trying to decide whether or not to make the leap, a young man named Leo sits down next to her, unaware of the serendipitous moment unfolding. In today's chaotic world, can you really find love with only 5% left to spare? Every second counts. Every word spoken is a heartbeat, and every choice made could change their lives forever. Watch how fate works its magic, where love isn't just found, it's fought for, even when the battery's about to die. This isn't just about technology, it's about choosing connection over convenience, heart over screen. Maya had never imagined that a simple cafe visit would turn into something life-changing. She had been there countless times before, sipping her coffee, staring at her screen, waiting for the perfect moment to hit send on that text she'd been overthinking for weeks. And yet, here she was again, phone in hand, heart racing, only this time something was different. It wasn't the usual buzz of notifications that distracted her. No, this time it was the sensation of someone sitting next to her. A guy, mid-20s, scruffy hair, looking like he'd just walked out of a local indie band's rehearsal. He smiled politely as he took a seat, but Maya didn't think much of it. She had her own battle to fight, the blinking cursor on her screen and the looming fear of rejection. But then, the strangest thing happened. Without a word, Leo, the guy, leaned over slightly, glancing at her phone screen, his curiosity piqued by the visible anxiety on her face. "Is it a text that could change your life, or just a hey?" he asked, almost as if reading her mind. Maya blinked, unsure if she should laugh or glare. "Excuse me?" she asked, genuinely confused. He chuckled softly, raising his hands in mock surrender. "Sorry, you look like someone who could use a distraction." Over the next few weeks, Maya and Leo's connection grew in the most unexpected and sometimes ridiculous ways. At first, their interactions were limited to awkward encounters in the cafe. But soon, the texts started flowing, each one more ridiculous than the last. Maya never expected to find someone who would send her memes about obscure TV shows or text her at 2 a.m. with random existential questions like, "If your coffee could talk, what would it say about your life choices?" But somehow, Leo managed to send her those messages, and they always left her laughing. And when she laughed, it was like the weight of the world lifted off her shoulders for a moment. Their first official date wasn't anything fancy. They met at a small taco joint, both of them nervous in their own ways. Leo ordered the spiciest thing on the menu, and Maya, feeling brave, followed suit. The result? A full-on dramatic meltdown where both of them spent half the evening sweating, laughing, and trying to figure out who was more dramatic about the heat. Yet through the chaos and laughter, they started to learn more about each other. Maya found out Leo was just as afraid of rejection as she was, and Leo realized Maya wasn't as emotionally closed off as she seemed. There was something about their conversations, sometimes deep, sometimes completely nonsensical, that made it clear they weren't just two people texting for fun. They were starting to rely on each other. It was a Friday evening when everything reached its boiling point. Maya sat on the park bench, her phone clutched in her hands like a lifeline. It was 9:15 p.m., the sun was setting, and she could see Leo approaching, his face lit up by the warm glow of the streetlights. But Maya wasn't focused on that. She was staring at the battery icon, 5% remaining. They had been texting all day, getting closer with every word, every laugh. But there was one thing Maya hadn't said, and tonight, it felt like the right time. She needed to tell Leo how she felt. She needed to send that message. As Leo approached, Maya's finger hovered over the screen. Her thumb was poised above the keyboard, ready to type the words she had been practicing in her mind. The one text she had avoided for weeks. I think I'm falling for you. But with each passing second, the battery drained faster. 4%, 3%. Her heart raced. She could see the notification for an incoming text from Leo, but she couldn't read it. Would she make the leap and risk being vulnerable, or would the moment slip away just like her dying phone? Leo reached the bench and sat down beside her, his eyes locking with hers. "What's going on?" he asked, sensing the tension. Maya opened her mouth, but the phone's screen flashed. 2%. "Leo, she started, but her phone shut off before she could finish. The screen went black. Silence. The world felt like it was holding its breath. Maya stared at the dead screen, her heart pounding in her chest. Leo, sensing something was wrong, gently placed his hand on her arm. "Hey, it's okay," he said softly. "What's going on?" For a moment, Maya didn't know what to say. The vulnerability of the situation was overwhelming. Her phone was dead, the words unsaid, but Leo was right there. She had no choice but to face him and face her feelings. I didn't know if I should say it, but..." Maya started, then paused, feeling the weight of the moment. "I think I'm falling for you." Leo smiled, and in that moment it was like the world had shifted. "Funny," he said. "I was just about to send you the same message." Maya laughed, a sense of relief washing over her. It wasn't the perfect timing she had envisioned, but maybe there was no such thing. Sometimes love wasn't about getting the words right or having perfect conditions. It was about taking the leap, even when the battery's about to die. Maya and Leo sat there, laughing, the park now bathed in moonlight. The moment was perfect, not because everything had gone according to plan, but because they had taken a leap together. The phone was dead, but their connection was more alive than ever. As they walked home, hand in hand, Maya thought about how love often doesn't happen in the perfect moment. It doesn't wait for the right time or the best circumstances. Sometimes love is about fighting for the connection, even when everything else is falling apart. Leo squeezed her hand and smiled. "So, what's next?" Maya grinned. "Well, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to see where this goes. Just maybe let's not let our phones die next time." They both laughed, walking off into the night, their hearts full and their phones, for once, forgotten. And as for the text that almost never got sent, sometimes it's not about the message itself, but the leap of faith it took to send it. So what leap are you waiting to take?
Soft emotional piano with light electronic undertones, build a lean to an upliftment in the lead, capturing the tension, humor and warmth of a love story amidst a dying phone battery.